I do have a few stories I want to tell. UFC 289 was this weekend in Canada, and the lightweight co-main event, Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush, that ended in the first KO from Charles Oliveira. But the main event for the women's bantamweight title, Amanda Nunes, who we've interviewed, fought Irene Aldana. And she kicked ass for 5 rounds, 5-round decision, and still the champion. Kicked ass, retired, and then had pizza all night long. So it was like a trifecta of awesome. It's like, where do you prioritize these awesome events?
Win, retire.
Kicked ass, then said arrivederci to work, and then said yes to a lifetime of pizza whenever she wants. All 3 sound like life goals to me. So I'm just throwing props out there because Amanda Nunes, 35, I forgot she was 35. In a fight game, that's not that young. But she beat every big name when it comes to women fighting. Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey, Cyborg, Miesha Tate. She beat them all.
Yeah, I saw
undisputed champ. Props to her.
Our pal Ariel Helwani got in a debate with someone saying that because Ariel wasn't so certain, she was like automatic Hall of Fame, one of the best ever, one of the GOATs. And I'm like, I'm surprised.
Yeah. You remember how invincible Cyborg seemed at one point? Like, it seemed unfair that she was fighting certain fighters. Like, what? And Nunes had her way, knocked her out like bad.
Well, like, she was tough. There was a point. Would you agree? I know it's hard to remember these moments, but do you remember when Ronda Rousey was in her prime?
I think everybody
slow down, Don Lemon.
No, she took the world by storm.
Fighting prime, everybody. When Ronda Rousey was in her fighting prime, don't you feel like there was almost a Mike Tyson level of can't be beat? I feel like we forget that because towards the end it fell apart.
She had that arm bar. It seemed
apart.
Unstoppable, but people figured out a way.
No, but I'm saying she would have whooped all our asses. I'm just saying at one point.
She broke Turtle's arm, remember?
Dude, yes. At one point, Danny G, Ronda Rousey seemed as unbeatable as Mike Tyson did in the mid to late 80s.
Well, Amanda Nunes beat all of them. And again, she had the trifecta of awesome. She kicked ass, she retired, and she ate pizza. That's how she celebrated.
Covino, is that good? Is that bad then for her to retire all of a sudden? Like, don't they need someone like her still in there, out there?
Maybe bad for the league.
Okay.
But not for her. She's like, you know what? I did it. I'm getting older. I'm done. And
dude,
it was a nice farewell.
Retirements in the UFC and wrestling are the same thing.
Broken.
And I say wrestling for real because it's like, how many times did like Macho Man retire or Ric Flair? It's a retirement match at SummerSlam. Like, that's all horse crap. So I think she gets back in the octagon the same way your boy Teofimo Lopez whooped Josh Taylor and then said he retires.
I'm glad you brought that up.
He retires? He's a young man.
Okay,
he's retiring until the money and the purse is high enough for the next fight.
Thank you, Meatloaf, because Rich took the words right out of my mouth.
Come on, Teofimo.
I agree with you 1,000%. Teofimo Lopez.
He's in his primo prime right now.
I think he's 25 years old. He's 25, right? He's a 2-division champion now. He beat Josh Taylor. He beat Lomachenko, who seemed unbeatable for a title. Then he beat Josh Taylor this weekend. And then he's talking to Max Kellerman this morning and announces a retirement. And I'm like, get out of here, dude.
25. The only thing you retire from at 25 is like too many shots at the bar and OnlyFans. Like, what else do you retire from at 25?
From Jaeger bombs at 25.
Yeah, 25. I gave up. I gave up getting trashed. Like, well, I mean, 25.
Seriously, it's ridiculous. And he's there trying to tell people like, oh no, he has all these plans after boxing and he has these ideas, which I'm sure he does, but he has the rest of his life to worry about it. And he won convincingly. It's not like he fought this crazy battle where he was almost knocked out. No, he won with style this weekend. It was like the old Teofimo. So there's no way this guy's retiring. So what we're seeing here, I don't know about with Nunes, but maybe you're right, Rich. Definitely with Teofimo Lopez, it's an ulterior motive. There's more to this. It's like, hey, no, I'm gonna hold out until I get that big money fight with Devin Haney, with Gervonta Davis.
I mean, I love him. I love
Shakur
him.
Stevenson.
I love him, but on a heavyweight level, Tyson Fury has cried retirement a few times and came back out of it. I'm telling you, it's
to
much
get
like
that money, man.
It's much like the Vince McMahon
It's a
retirement match at Royal Rumble.
It really is.
You know,
and Teofimo, by the way, who's one of the bigger names in boxing right now at that 140 division, he's the 140 champ. You're going to tell me a guy who really hasn't been part of a big pay-per-view, who's right in front of his biggest payday yet, with a super fight with one of these 135, 140 pounders that I mentioned, is going to retire? What's that stuff I use in the shower, Rich?
Hogwash?
Hogwash, dude. I'm not buying it at all. But I will say, 2 great fights this weekend. Props to Amanda Nunes. Props to Teofimo Lopez. He did what most people think he couldn't do this weekend, and he made Josh Taylor look bad, in my opinion. And that just sets up another big fight, and he gets extra money because he's, quote-unquote, coming out of retirement. And
as we...
And I do want to say props to Jaime Munguia because he also fought on DAZN. It was a big win over Derevianchenko. Yeah, so some great fights this weekend, including
Derevianchenko
Conor McGregor.
He would be a great name in a spelling bee.
Derevianchenko?
Derevianchenko. Go.
Derevyenchенko.
My God, he's a genius.
Any other brain busters?
Well, as we go to Monty, let me ask you.
By the way, Derevianchenko's not even a word.
Risotto. Monty, before we get to your update, what is more eye-rolly? Boxers retiring when they're really not retiring,
and maybe UFC fighters,
or load management in the NBA. Like, what's more of an eye roll in sports?
I mean, I can't.
I know they're way different, but
right, because I don't watch a lot of boxing or UFC. So for me, it's the load management in the NBA.
I could promise
that's
you.
more annoying.
I could promise you, if you would have met Henry Cejudo, he would have hit on you because he was a DM slider, from what I understand.
Without a doubt.
But anyway, Henry Cejudo, Danny G. I know you're not a big UFC guy, but do you know how many times that guy retired?
Exactly.
Multiple.
4 times.
And now he's back, and this is part of the game. I do believe that Amanda Nunes is done, at least for now, until someone throws some crazy money at her. I believe in her heart she's done, and that's how you want to go out. Like, she went out with some style. She put her belts on the canvas and her gloves there, her mitts there. But this Teofimo story is BS.
Yeah, no, I don't know much, but Nunes can't come back after the way she went out. You can't. I
agree. And she did it all.
Like, totally badass exit.
Yeah, 100. Yeah. I saw that. I was like, now that's how you go out. On a high. No, she can't. No. Don't change your mind.
And eating pizza.
And eat pizza. I want pizza right now.
I wish I could eat pizza and not care.
I do eat pizza and not care.
Training for your next show, COVINO. All right, what's going on, Monty?